All right, welcome back to Yahoo Finance. On this Monday morning, stocks are lower, but one name on the move higher is GameStop. That stock is up more than 8% in early trading on this Monday morning. And we got a couple pieces of news crossing the tape. The most notable today, news that GameStop CEO George Sherman would step down at the end of July, and really bringing what's been an ongoing overhaul of the C-suite over there at GameStop with Ryan Cohen and the activists that have been involved in that name, really brings it to completion. So, Julie, when we get to August, which is pretty much the 1-year anniversary of when Reddit really started getting excited about what Keith Gill was doing, and we'll get to him in just a second. Stock was, I think about $4 a share, August 2020. Right now, trading in the mid hundreds, and it's going to be a completely different company, perhaps really coming around to delivering on the promise that those deep value folks saw in GameStop. So I think the promise was, again, maybe like $50 a share. But hey, 3 times that, good for them.
I mean, it's going to be a completely different company in terms of who's sitting in the driver's seat, but will it actually be a completely different company in terms of end market demand, in terms of its relationship with customers? I mean, we happen to have an avid gamer on the production team here who says, that's really one of the cruxes of the issue with GameStop, is that it's not necessarily a store that you want to go into, right? It's a sort of reluctant relationship. And even though they are shuffling the management there, unless they can maybe fix that problem, the actual value, which is of course still debatable, in this company, is not necessarily going to be realized. So I think that's really what's at stake here. And all of the hopes invested in this. I mean, eventually they're going to have to deliver, right? Or are they? I don't know. It would seem in a logical world that they would be forced to deliver at some point, but we're not necessarily living in a logical world.
What bothers me here, among many things, with this news is that they're using a third party to find a new CEO, which tells you that GameStop doesn't have the talent inside the company, perhaps at any level, for someone to step up here and at least get a shot. So much so, because it really reflects all the turnover and all the change at the company over the past 5 years, then they have to go outside the company. That's problem one, because any new CEO is going to have to work with these top 50 executives at the company. Number two, you are probably concerned about what executive is going to come to GameStop. It's unlikely GameStop wants a retired retail CEO. It's likely an up-and-coming person in retail will get this position, which suggests they will be somewhat inexperienced for this position. But again, perhaps maybe this is what Ryan Cohen wants, to mold a CEO while he's essentially pulling the strings. And in effect, he's the CEO in addition to the chairman.
Well, I was going to say, Sozzi, I mean, Ryan Cohen, has had his own career co-founding Chewy, among other ventures. He will be the chairman. He's nominated. He's up for nomination to be the chairman of the board. One wonders why he is not the CEO, though, of course, this third party they hired could ultimately say that he is the person they think is best for the job. And, as a member of the board, we'll see kind of how that goes. Another one for you, Sozzi. This is a Sozzi special. Someone who's currently maybe looking for another opportunity. Katrina Lake could step in as the next CEO of GameStop. No longer CEO over at Stitch Fix. Got that news last week.
I'll push back slightly.
She's still on the board, though.
Katrina Lake, yes, she's going to be the executive chairman. I'll toss another curveball to you, Myles. Someone who is looking for a new job, Jill Soltau. She was just given the axe over at JCPenney. I think she had a lot of good ideas. JCPenney is a sinking, dying ship, so she could have put a lot of those new ideas to work. There's a lot of cash over there at GameStop, and she is still seen as a forward-thinking retail executive. Hopefully they give her a ring.
Look, want to go ex-JCPenney folks? Ron Johnson, throw him in there. Come on, bring him back.
That was the thought I had too, Myles. Why not? Let's just say a bunch of old retail names.
Exactly. And just one name, Sozzi, you talk about cash. One name that we did mention earlier, I do want to bring up Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, everyone's favorite congressional witness from 2021. News over the weekend, according to his screenshot and verified by some other outlets. He exercised all his outstanding options on GameStop. So he is now the owner, the beneficial owner, as they would say in the business, of 200,000 shares worth about $30 million. He's also got a couple $1 million in cash in his portfolio. So
maybe he should be CEO.
All in GameStop. Been in I was going to say maybe Keith Gill could be the CEO, but Sozzi, I think he's he's made too much money on this thing to incentivize him to come take on the pain of having to actually run the business. All he was really right on the stock and has done better than he ever could have imagined. So why would he want to actually get a job to do this? That's way too much work. Way too much. Maybe you
go work at the store.
Maybe you, Brian Sozzi. Brian Sozzi, you'll probably take the job for less than $30 million. So we'll see.
I have no comment on that.
See if Ryan Cohen comes calling for that. All right.